Hello, that was the behind the scenes shot you got to see there with no one in it. That's how special you are. Do you want another look at it? There you go, behind the scenes at Digital DJ Tips. It's our new camera angle for when I have to go to the shelves to get stuff to show you. Keeps it a bit more interesting. However, it's not much use when there's no one there. When there's no one there, it's just a messy behind the scenes shot. Anyway, welcome. It is Tuesday Tips Live with me, Phil. We're Digital DJ Tips, the people behind Rock the Dance Floor, the best-selling book on Amazon, on how to DJ, and also the people behind our 25 DJ courses and counting. We've helped over 30,000 people to become better DJs and better DJ producers through those courses, through digitaldjtips.com, and also through our YouTube, Facebook, and indeed wherever else you might be watching this today. Welcome wherever you are. It's good to be here. And for the next hour, I'm here, Phil Morse, just to help you with your DJing, to talk DJing with you, to help you whether you've got an issue with your controller, maybe you've got an issue with your music or your DJ software, whatever it might be. We've got stuff here. We've got gear set up. You can see we've got an old Serato controller set up at the moment, the little DJay SB3. This is a controller that's been out for 5 years now, and it's got a pad scratch button on it, which was made famous by our latest tutor, DJ Jazzy Jeff, who was behind that pad scratch button. It's a device on the DJay SB3 to help you learn how to scratch. And I'll tell you more about DJ Jazzy Jeff and the course that we've made with him as we move on through today's show. But really, this is all about you. So I'm here to help you. I've been running Digital DJ Tips for the last 11 years, and I've got reasonable amount of experience in everything DJ technology, music, gear, playing out, promoting yourself, whatever it is, I can help. And if I can't help, someone on the team can. So this is about you. Ask away. We're here to help you. Any questions, anything you're stuck on, anything you need help with in your DJing, that's what the next hour is all about. And if you don't ask any questions, we'll have an early night. But that ain't going to happen. So let's head over to what we call the comment cam and say hello to some early people and start our process of helping you guys and girls out with whatever it is in your DJing that's causing you to go, at the moment. Yes, Blake, you're quite right. We can confirm that the DJ Jazzy Jeff course is launching on Thursday. And indeed, very excitingly, I have DJ Jazzy Jeff in the studio with me by the wonder of Zoom. So Jeff will be joining me on Thursday at this time, actually. Look at your watch now. Join us at this time on Thursday on the same channel you're watching on now, because Jazzy Jeff will be here. We'll be announcing the winners of our competition to win 2 personal DJ lessons with Jeff. 2 lucky Digital DJ Tips community members will win the chance to DJ with Jazzy Jeff, to rather get DJ lessons from him personally, one-to-one, and obviously money can't buy you that prize, so we'll be announcing the winners of that. We'll also be talking about what DJing has taught Jeff over the years, and he'll be sharing some of that wisdom. And then about an hour from now on Thursday, we'll literally be pressing the button and launching DJ Jazzy Jeff's How to DJ Right course, his brand new DJ course that he's made with us here at Digital DJ Tips. And there's still time to enter that competition. Go to djtips.co/Jeff after this broadcast and enter that competition, and also let us know you're interested in that course, and we will add you to that list. You've still got time if you want to win a personal DJ lesson with Jazzy Jeff, so do head to that URL, djtips.co/Jazzy Jeff. Right, questions. Now there's 2 rules, and indeed I'm going to use our amazing new community created artwork here. Keep calm and ask once. Keep calm and ask once. Thank you for that, Ivan. And this means #ASK, #ask if you want to ask a question. Wherever you are, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, wherever, we can see them all on the screen. But please only ask your question once. If you're cut and pasting your questions, as soon as I see you've done that, I will not answer you. So do not do that, please. It just makes it harder for us to answer them. Right, hello, Renato, Christian, DJ Mad Live, TRMBZ TV, DJ John Roback, Dwelt Music, Charlie, Potter, Blake, Retro says can't wait for Jazzy Jeff Day, Julio, John over there in Dublin, DJ 88 who says happy Tuesday, and to you, DJ 99 on Twitch, nice to see you, my friend. Hello to Paul and David, to Salvation Drum and Bass, Digital Nation, Jorge in Portugal. Good show, says Jorge. Well, we do try our hardest. Thank you for that. Not so far from us down here in Gibraltar. DJ Mr. Freaky the Long Way. Good morning, everyone. Jazzy Jeff coming today? No, you have to wait a little bit longer, 88. It's Thursday. And Rajul says, hello, Phil. How are you? It's always good to see you. As a DJ, Digital DJ Tips alumni, anyone need any help, let me know, happy to help. And Rajul is over there on Facebook, so thank you very much for that. And that's what I love about our community. We have the beginners and the people who are stuck into courses coming to proceed and to move on, and the people who've already done it, been there and done it, coming to help, and I love that. DJ AD Foster, hello. Hello, Rob. Hello to Paul in Huddersfield. Keep up the good work, says Paul. Amar is in Nuremberg, and Ian over there in the Midlands. And right, let's get our first question. So this is from TRMBZ TV. Have you got any tips on reading a crowd? So I'm going to give you some wisdom from DJ Jazzy Jeff, and a piece of wisdom from me as well. So Jazzy Jeff says, if you can give everyone 45 minutes of fun in a night, then they'll all go home saying that you were a great DJ. So let's say you're playing for 4 hours in a bar where people like hip hop and people like dance and people like pop and people like oldies and people like R&B, and you've got all these different people there. If you can structure the music so everyone gets 45 minutes of what they like, they will not only happily allow other people who like other things to have their music played as well, but they'll all go home saying they've had a good time. So your trick isn't to try and keep everyone happy all the time, because that's impossible, but rather your trick is to play what the people want overall and to kind of rotate the dance floor. So when you're reading a crowd, try and figure out what you've got as opposed to try and keep everyone happy. Have I got some hip hop heads? Have I got some people who want pop music? Have I got some girls who want to dance to oldies and don't really know what's going on here? Have I got a younger or older crowd who maybe wants something different to all that? And then program your music to try and give something to everyone. Second tip for reading a crowd, when you are warming a crowd up, so you haven't got a full dance floor, your trick, or rather your only reason for existence, is to get that dance floor full. And the way you do that is by playing to the people who are dancing. No one else counts. So your job is to get the first person or people dancing, which is where you've got to be patient, because people will not dance until they're ready, no matter what you're doing. And as soon as you've got one or two, it's like a fire. It's like lighting a fire. You've got to get that flame in, and you've got to treat it very carefully until it starts to spread. And so it's generally going to be girls who dance first, because they just do. So you want to play music that's girl friendly. You want to try and get the girls in the room to be wishing to dance, and they get the first ones dancing, and then try and play more of what they want to get the next group of girls dancing. Soon enough the boys will follow, because that's what happens, and the dance floor starts to fill up. But once you've got a full dance floor, you stop trying to play to the people on the dance floor. Remember back to what I was saying at the beginning, Jazzy Jeff's tip. And now you're looking at the corners. You're looking at the people who haven't danced yet. You're looking at the people who are lurking at the edges. You're looking at the people who are still sat down. What do they want? What's the music they want? What can I do to get these people off and get them on? And if you can rotate the night like this, you do two things. You keep everyone happy. Remember back to our first rule here of reading a crowd, but also you rotate the people at the bar, and that is what gets you booked again and paid, because unless people are spending money, there's no money to pay you, and there's no point in paying you again next week. So there's a few tips to get you started on reading a crowd, but I want to give you a final tip, which is if you head over to the Digital DJ Tips website, not to Serato cannot help you with this. If you head over to the Digital DJ Tips website and go to the little magnifying glass there and type reading. I can't think we could have anything else other than reading a crowd in the search results here. I might be wrong. Click search, and here we go. We have got 3 tips for DJing to an older crowd, 10 mistakes beginners make that DJs don't, how DJs pre-read their crowd, and there's some other things here which are not related, which have obviously got the word reading somewhere in them. But if you just scroll down, you will find and let's now try the same search with crowd, just like any searching. Sometimes it pays to use different words. So there's our pre-reading the crowd, how to read the crowd at weddings, should DJs party harder than their crowds, 7 tricks for making your crowd go wild to music they don't know, 5 ways to tell if your crowd has had a good time. Crowdsourced headphones, that's a bit of a red herring there. How to read a crowd and what happens if you don't. It doesn't take long before Digital DJ Tips will serve you up an article which will help you to learn about this pretty much essential skill. So do go and take a look at Digital DJ Tips. It's a little secret of our organisation, you know. We have got about 6,000 articles there. And believe me, we've got articles on pretty much everything you could possibly imagine. So do go and take a look at those. If you'd like to ask a question today, hashtag ask, hashtag ASK, please only ask once. Christian, how can you compare the feel when scratching on moving platters and when scratching on jog wheels? Very good question. You know, let's just get a DJ controller here and let's talk about scratching, because here I have a track playing on my DJ controller and this isn't going round, right? The track's playing but it's not going round. Now, if I want to scratch, some nice simple baby scratches there. It's absolutely not only possible, but very easy to scratch on these kind of jog wheels, because scratching involves stopping the music and then doing something. And obviously scratching, actually I would be using this hand if I was scratching properly, because scratching also involves crossfader, coordination and so on. But the point is, it involves stopping the music, which you do by touching the top of a jog wheel as long as it's set in vinyl mode, which this one is. If it wasn't in vinyl mode, that wouldn't do anything. So you've got to be in vinyl mode and doing something. Now that is perfectly possible with both still or non-moving platters. These, although these spin, they're not moving when the music's playing. And with platters that when you hit play, they actually physically turn like this. That's perfectly possible, because on the platters that physically turn when you press the play button on the record deck or on a Rain 12, which is a motorized jog wheel, or any other motorized controller, you have a slip mat on top. And a slip mat, or a butter rug, is a piece of felt which you then put the control vinyl on top of. So you can still do what I was doing there and touch the top and it will stop the music playing, because the felt just slips with the platter still going round, and then you take your hand off and it will start to go again. The difference is that you feel an inertia underneath when you've got a moving platter. The moving platter is doing nothing on a controller. In other words, when you're controlling software, using DVS or using systems that are built for it, the rotating platter is doing nothing other than giving you an inertia underneath, a momentum, which makes it feel like you're using a turntable. Now, if you're used to using turntables and you want to have that feel on your digital gear, then go ahead and do it, because it feels great and it's going to be very, very familiar to you. But if you're not used to using turntables, there's absolutely no way in the world that you have to learn to DJ, or even more to the point to scratch, using a motorized turntable. It doesn't matter. And if you don't believe me, think about all the DJs who've mastered scratching since the mid-1990s, late 1990s, on Pioneer CDJs. Pioneer CDJs don't have spinning platters, and yet lots and lots of DJs are happy to scratch on them. So our DJ course, which is the only DJ course still in the world which has scratching for controller DJs, it's called, which has got controllers first and record decks and moving platters second, teaches you how to DJ using your still plattered gear. Like, for instance, in the video here at the beginning of this course intro, you can see we are using CDJ 2000s, but we use all kinds of DJ gear in this course. So yes, it's perfectly possible to learn to scratch on DJ gear that does, in fact, look, there's the little SB3 that I've got in front of me here, the very same one. How cute is that? But it just feels different, and it doesn't feel the same as using vinyl, but it's perfectly possible to do it, to answer your question, Christian. Hello to Luis over there in Staten Island. Hello to Alex and to Bill and to Earl Whiff. Hello to Master DJ James and Snikehead and Jose in Ottawa. We are doing a straight open question and answer session today for Tuesday Tips Live, when we would normally be doing tuition. And the reason for that is that we have Jazzy Jeff with me on Thursday when we would normally do the Q&A session. So we switched it round, and Jeff will be announcing the winners to his winner one-to-one DJ lesson with Jazzy Jeff competition, and also launching his new course with us, which is very, very exciting. And you know what? Do you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to give you, my team will be like, don't do it, Phil. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to give you a sneak preview of our DJ Jazzy Jeff course because, hey, you're the best of the best. This is the website how you don't see it as someone who is just a digital DJ tip student rather than someone who works here. Because while it looks like our website, here's our latest article, Building the Momentum for DJ Jazzy Jeff. By the way, good article. If you want to see some of the things he's achieved in his career, go take a look at it. But at the top, we have our DJ courses section, and I can also access my courses. Now, because I am a Digital DJ Tips administrator, I can see what you can't hear. If you were a Digital DJ Tips member, this is where you'd see Digital DJ Lab, and here's where you see all the courses you own. Look, there's this one here, and this one here. You won't be able to see yet because it's not available publicly, but I can see it. This is DJ Jazzy Jeff's How to DJ Right. This is the brand new course we've made with Jeff that is launching on Thursday. And as you can see, this course is finished. It is ready to go. It's just having the final touches added to it, and you will be able to get your hands on this course very, very soon with Jeff, Steve and myself helping you to learn all kinds of tricks and all kinds of transitions that make what Jeff does so special. It really is an incredible course. We're very, very proud of it. And your chance to get this is in exactly 48 hours and 44 minutes from now. So do come and join me on Thursday with Jeff when we'll be launching DJ Jazzy Jeff's How to DJ Right. We cannot wait. Robert is not very impressed with the beat source search for tracks on his Denon 6000s. So thank you for sharing that feedback with us there. I hope it gets improved. Hello to Ivan. Hello to Benedict, who's feeling really hyped for the Jazzy Jeff course. Martin, I got my Numark Scratch mixer, great mixer, using USB. The Q works fine for my headphones, but when I connect it to Serato, all I can get is the master. So I would try updating the firmware on your mixer because it ought to just work. The other thing I would do is try upgrading your Serato. Make sure you've got the latest version, Martin, although the Numark Scratch is not a new mixer anymore, so I'm sure you have. But they would be the first things that I would try there. I hope you get to solve that one. Trimworld, I'm looking to swap my DDJ 800 to a DDJ 1000 and an XDJ 7000 for 3-deck mixing. Any foreseeable issues with this setup or recommendations on alternative setups? So what you want to do is get a DDJ 1000, which is a 4-channel DJ controller, but you want to add an extra deck to it. You want to add an extra Pioneer deck in the XDJ 700 so you can mix with 3 physical decks. I don't know whether that will work because I've never tried it. There's no reason in my mind why plugging the XDJ 700 into your laptop with a USB cable and then making sure that it's recognized by your rekordbox software will not work and will not give you a 3rd deck. That means that you've got full software control over that deck. You've already got full software control over all 4 decks of rekordbox anyway with your DDJ 1000, and that's the thing that might stop that working because they're all kind of used up already by the controller. So I honestly don't know that. I mean, one fail-safe way of getting 3-deck mixing in that manner is to have some other source working with the XDJ 7000. So like have a USB stick with music on plugged into that, but then you'll be treating it just like any external source. So in answer to your question, I'm not sure. The DDJ 1000 will give you 4-channel mixing anyway, so if it were me, I would make sure I've got a decent returns policy on the XDJ 700. If you can't get it to work, send the thing back because you've already got 4-channel mixing anyway there, and it's not that hard to get used to using the layer buttons. Blake, man, did I feel naff on Sunday after doing 6 hours of Happy Hardcore on Saturday. If you're not a Happy Hardcore fan or you don't even know what it is, it's extremely fast UK music that originated in the mid-90s and is still popular, albeit niche nowadays. Well done, Blake, for doing that. And I hope you are recovering okay by this point. I sincerely hope so. Right, Robert, who's still ranting about his issue with his Denon SC6000. I'm coming to the conclusion that people who design DJ software have probably been dropped on their heads at some point. Well, I really hope you get that figured out, Robert. I can feel your pain, my friend. Hello to Brent, who's watching us in a very hot Cape Town. Thursday with Jazzy Jeff sounds awesome. If you don't know what he's talking about, we've got the man himself, Jazzy Jeff, as featured here in his new course with us, Jazzy Jeff's How to DJ Right, joining me on Thursday. Yep, he'll be in the studio via Zoom with me, launching his course. So do join me on the channel you're watching on now at this time. Hello to Mark, the military DJ, the video guy. Scott, I use Serato and I want to upgrade my PC. Any suggestions on any to look at that won't break the bank too much? The first thing to do is to head over to the Serato website and search for recommended specs, although you will find that the specs there are very, very low. What I always say when you want to upgrade your computer is to think about where you're going to use it. Because any modern Windows computer, any modern Mac, especially the M1 Macs, will be fine. They'll do the job. But especially if you're buying Windows, the build quality is variable. You know, you can get really wonderfully built Windows computers and you can get ones which frankly are a heap of shit, right? So you've got to pick something that is going to be able to put up with what you want to do with it. If you're just using it at home for fun, you've got it set up in your living room, it never goes out of the warm, it's only you that uses it, you're a careful person, you can get away with a budget Windows computer. As soon as you start throwing it in a bag and taking it to gigs with you, any money you can spend on getting one with a decent chassis, a decent case, a decent durability should you drop it, is going to be good. The other thing that I think people overlook is a bright screen. Because if you think about it, if you're DJing anywhere with sunshine or daylight and your screen's dim, it stops play. But a bright screen will get you through those gigs. So everything else is technically going to be all right nowadays with any modern-ish computer. You know, if you're buying a brand new Windows PC for $200, you're going to have a very, very low-powered processor in it, no memory, a poor disk drive, and it's going to be pretty awful. But you know, once you get into the standard $500, $600, $700 up, technically they'll do the job. So it's just a case of getting something that is durable enough for what you want to use it for. Don't ever fall into the trap of thinking that you have to use Mac either. It's rubbish. The software works fine on both, but just get something that's reliable would be my tip, because you don't want it breaking down on you mid-gig. If you, again, want more info on this, head over to the Digital DJ Tips website, digitaldjtips.com, and do a search here for laptop, and you'll find our article on optimizing your laptop. There's a review of an XMG laptop here, which is very, very good, but it's quite expensive. That's a Windows laptop. And you'll find all our other articles that will help you to choose a laptop, everything related to that. So we've got tips for DJing with laptops, we've got the best screen size, and we've got all kinds of other stuff here as well. So just keep scrolling back until you find something which suits. There is an article here somewhere on choosing a laptop as well. And if you are a Digital DJ Lab subscriber, then we've got a whole action plan in there helping you to not only choose but optimize both Windows and Mac computers. And if you're saying to yourself, what's Digital DJ Lab? Let me tell you quickly what Digital DJ Lab is. Digital DJ Lab is a DJ subscription program. It's 5 years old, unbelievably. You'll find it on our courses page right down at the bottom, and it is designed to be with you all the way through your DJing journey. If you've taken the DJ course or two with us, you're getting gigs, you're on your way, but you want to stay up to speed with what's going on in the DJ world, this is for you. It's full of training and material that you can't find in any of our courses. And it is already, as far as this page goes, even better than what you're seeing here, because we've got 100 pro DJ mix deconstructions where we take big DJ sets from the biggest names in DJing and show you how to do all the tricks that are involved in them. But also it's got action plans, and action plans teach you all kinds of stuff about your skill set. So gear, music techniques, it'll teach you about things like, well, you're looking at them on the screen now, how to sort out your music library, how to master manual beat mixing, starting and scratching, a cappella mixing, audio levels, pro effects, hot cue system, the energy level DJ secret, quick mixing mastery. If any of these things look like something that would improve your DJing, and there's nearly 50 of them now, do come and take a look at Digital DJ Lab. As I say, you'll find it on the courses page on Digital DJ Tips right at the top here. Anyway, there is a whole load of stuff there on choosing a laptop and optimizing a laptop once you've got one. Right, thank you for that question, Scott. Hello to Jam Master A. Hello to You Don't Like My Music, who says, it's okay, I'm here, you can start now. So thank you. We've been kind of twiddling our thumbs and trying to pass the time, but now you're here, we can go. Any news from Native Instruments? You know what, Master DJ James? At the beginning of every year, I go around all the companies. I was speaking to In Music, which is Denon, Newmark, Rain. Today, I was speaking to Pioneer last week, and I'm speaking to Tractor next week to catch up, to find out what's planned, and to see how we can help and you know, get the message out about what they're doing. So I haven't spoken to Native Instruments yet in 2022. I will be doing very shortly. So ask the question again next week and I'll try and tell you. DJ Mystique says, if you convert an MP3 to a WAV, does that uncompress that file? No, it doesn't. And it's really worth explaining why this is the case. So a WAV file is the best uncompressed, big, but faithful to the original digital version of a piece of music. For the purpose of what we're talking about here, we'll hold that to be true. So let's say you've got a WAV file that's 100 megabytes and it's a 5-minute piece of music. Now, if you compress that down to an MP3, and that is now an MP3 that is maybe 5 megabytes, you've just made it 20 times smaller. I'm just using arbitrary numbers here. You've made it 20 times smaller. And what that process does is it uses fiendishly clever algorithms to say, all right, what can we do to encode nearly the same musical information in a much smaller file? And it does it by throwing away the stuff you can't hear or the stuff that doesn't change. And so you end up with a smaller file that sounds to all intents and purposes the same as the WAV. Great. Not quite as good. There's a lot of information been lost, but to most people's ears most of the time, even if you shrink it down that much, it'll sound really, really good. But imagine that you then try and make that bigger again by putting it into a piece of software that turns an MP3 back into a WAV. You can't put back what's been thrown away. That information has literally been thrown away. So it might say it's a WAV, and it might be back to 100 megabytes in size, but it's no better sounding than the 5 megabyte MP3 that you used in the beginning to start that process off is. So there's absolutely 0 point making MP3s back into WAVs. 0 point at all. You might as well leave them as MP3s. So never do that. It's just a waste of your time and a waste of your hard disk space, because the resultant file will be bigger and it won't sound any better. It's a bit like if you're in like Photoshop or Paint or Preview on a Mac, you know, the photo programs, the graphic programs on a computer. If you've got a graphic that's 5,000 by 3,000 and you shrink it to 500 by 300, and then blow it up again to 5,000 by 3,000 again, well, it's going to look rubbish. Try it. That's what you're doing with an MP3 that you make into a WAV again. So there's 0 point doing that. Tim, DJ Pro AI versus Serato, pros and cons of both. It's a great question because while Serato, Tractor, Rekordbox are all big virtual DJ, pieces of DJ software with many millions of users, there are other pieces of DJ software as well, and maybe the biggest of the smaller DJ software names is DJ Pro AI. It's a platform that has never quite reached the heights of all the others, but it's really good, and it's got features that you don't find in some other DJ software. For instance, it's got the stems feature where you can in real time separate the drums, the bass, the vocals and the melodies in your DJing. So just take the drums from this track, the vocals from that track, and so on. It's something that is only in one other piece of DJ software called Virtual DJ. Algorithm's DJ Pro AI also has great video capabilities and a lot of other stuff. It's got like, you can Shazam tracks live and then like start DJing with them and stuff. It's very Mac and iOS centric. So if you're in the Apple ecosystem, you can pay for a subscription to that piece of software and have the same software with the same music library running on your iPhone, iPad and your Mac laptop, which is pretty good. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for Windows or Android, even though it's available for those platforms. It's kind of like a poor cousin to the Mac versions. They always put more effort into the Mac versions than they do into the Windows ones. So if you're an Apple user and you want something that looks great, that's got some pretty up to the minute features and that works well across your Apple devices, definitely DJ Pro AI it's an outlier, but it's a good one. But if you want something that most DJs use, then you're still sticking with the big names there because it's not in that category of software. Right, we are live. It's me, Phil, in the Digital DJ Tips studio. We have got our Pioneer DDJ SB3 set up here with Serato. So any questions you might have about DJing on that piece of gear or on Serato, please do ask away. We also have everything else because behind the scenes here, our new camera angle, which we basically set up so if I need to wander over here and grab other gear, I can. We've got all our tractor controllers, our rain controllers over here. This is the production computer, by the way, in the corner here, which no one ever sees. This is where, when we're doing a big live show, the producer sits doing all the stuff that I'm doing on my own here in the studio today. And this is our main camera. This is the one that you see me on when I'm chatting to you from here. So just like any decent studio anywhere in the world, it all looks really nice and neat when you are looking at what you're meant to see, but as soon as you're behind the scenes, it's got coats on the floor and boxes everywhere and wires everywhere and all that good stuff. So yeah, I've got lots of stuff in the studio here. If you've got questions about any of that as well, you ask away and I'll do my best to help you. I'm here for another half hour. We have an hour here normally to do this stuff. This is from DJ AD Foster, who says, I'm still learning virtual DJ. Is there a tip or trick that people might not know, or is there a favorite on virtual DJ? I'd say the biggest thing you can do in virtual DJ is learn the scripting language. It's got a very powerful way of setting up shortcuts and re-scripting buttons you don't want. Like all DJ controllers work, well, most DJ controllers work with virtual DJ. You plug it in and they'll just work. This one, for instance, will just work, but most DJ controllers will work fine with virtual DJ. But what you can do with virtual DJ is remap things you don't use. So let's say you only ever use 2 decks to DJ with. Hint, 80% of DJs only ever use 2 decks to DJ with. So you're a 2-deck DJ, and this is a 4-deck controller. It might not look like it. It's only got 2 channels and it's only got 2 decks, but these buttons here will switch between decks 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if you would like a demo to prove that that's the case, let's get the software up here. It's actually running Serato at the moment. But look, this is Serato, set currently to decks 1 and 2. But if I press that button there for deck 3, you'll see that on the screen, see, that's disappeared. And I can actually load another track up there onto deck 3. There we go. So now I have 3 tracks loaded because I've got one on deck 3 as well. And if I press the other button here to go to deck 4, now you'll see I've got another blank deck. So just by pressing these buttons, which I'm doing off camera now, you can see I've got loads of different tracks loaded and stuff. So that's great if you use those things. But if you don't use those things, we've got a couple of spare buttons here. So in Virtual DJ, it's really easy to map these to other things. And Virtual DJ's got an awful lot of functions that you could use. So if you look at the Virtual DJ, it's called VDJpedia. On their website, there's a whole list of commands and ways that you can remap things in there. And you might just find a function that you love in Virtual DJ that you can put on these buttons here. I'm just using this one as an example, this controller as an example, for instance. So look at that. Look at ways that you can take buttons that you aren't normally using on your controller, or you never use, that you can remap in your software of choice. It works in all software. Virtual DJ is particularly powerful with that. So there's my first tip for you. Have a look at mapping because it is a good way of getting more from your particular combination of DJ gear and software. Hello to DJ Rudy. I've just joined your stream. Oh no, I've just joined StreamYard. What's your tips on it? Right, okay, so StreamYard is, if I remember rightly, a piece of software that lets you stream in your browser. And I've never used it, so good luck with StreamYard. I'd love to know what you think about it. But streaming in your browser is a thing at the moment. The software we use to go live on these broadcasts is called Restream. This is what Restream looks like. I've got it open on my other, you see me there? Chatting away to you. Now, I'm currently feeding Restream from desktop broadcast software. But Restream has got a built-in ability to stream without needing extra software at all. So you can plug in a couple of webcams and your audio to your laptop, and it will all work in a browser. And you can do a live stream from your browser. And StreamYard is a similar kind of thing, but I've never used it. So let us know how you get on with that. Talking about laptops, weren't we? Albert says, I use a refurbed used Lenovo ThinkPad. That works very well. It didn't break the bank. It's a great tip. I've heard a lot of people saying Lenovo ThinkPads are good computers if you want to go down the Windows route. So thank you for sharing that. This is from DJ Dell. How do you network with others when you're DJing? Should I hand out a business card, or is there anything else that can work? Depends who you mean. You know, if you want to network with other DJs, then you want to be meeting them away from the club. You want to be meeting them for, you know, back-to-back sessions in your cellar where your decks are set up, or meeting them in, you know, somewhere where you can chat and where you can kind of like plot together and start planning stuff. But certainly in clubs, it's always a good idea to have your business cards. I like to have a mix on my business cards because, you know, in a way, as a DJ, your business card is your mixes. Your business card is what you know, what you can show people that they can go away and look at. It's almost like your shop window, isn't it? So I've got a Mixcloud page where I kind of like where all my mixes live, and then I can give people a link to my Mixcloud page. So my business cards will say Phil Morse on one side with my email address or something, but on the other side it will say mixcloud.com/Phil Morse, and when they go there they land on the Mixcloud page that I've got here, and they can listen to my mixes and so on. So it's just a nice way of people seeing what I do, looking through my playlist, old and new and stuff, and getting a sense of me and the DJing I do. So I'd certainly say put a few mixes online and put those on your business card, so you're not just giving people a card with a phone number on it, but they've got something that they can go and listen to. It just depends what you're networking for, really. I mean, one of the rules about DJ bookings and getting ahead in DJing is that people book DJs they know and like. You're never going to get bookings. You're never going to get anywhere by sitting behind a computer and pushing buttons. You need to get out there. So, you know, if you want to get a booking in a venue and the person who does the bookings is the venue manager, you'll never get that booking until at least the people your venue manager knows know who you are and like you. So you could get to know the bar staff. You could go to the venue when it's quiet and sit and have a couple of drinks and chat to people. You could be giving them your mixes so that the people around the person you really want to get the nod from are getting to know who you are. So, you know, no one will take a risk on anyone. It's a conservative world when your head's on the line, right? So no venue manager is going to book a DJ they haven't heard of, no one they know has heard of, and who's just sent them loads of emails or maybe a link to a mix, you know, on Facebook or something. It doesn't work that way. You've got to get people's trust, and you do that by making sure they know who you are and they like you. So you've got to get out there. That would be my second big tip for networking: get out there. So this is from James. Any alternatives to Audacity for mixing or leveling a set once recorded? Well, yes, there are. I'm going to tell people about Audacity first. This is Audacity. Audacity is a free piece of software. It works on all platforms that will let you load any music file and do stuff to it. You could take the silence off the beginning and end. You could edit out errors if it's a DJ mix. You can, to a certain extent, fix it if it doesn't sound so good. You can make it louder or quieter. You can change the EQ of it, and lots of other things. Now, this piece of software is totally free. And while it's not the best looking piece of software in the world, it is probably the most widely downloaded piece of software among DJs, apart from their actual DJ software. So I strongly recommend that everyone owns this software. And the reason you might not want to use this might just be that you think it's a bit clunky. It is. And it's not quite so user-friendly. Now, I have to be honest, over the years I've thought that, and I've tried other software. I've always come back to Audacity because it does what it does so well. That said, it is possible to edit your DJ mixes in like any DAW, like Ableton. In fact, in our course where we teach how to mix how to edit your DJ mixes and how to put out DJ mixes like the pros. The course is called Pro Mixtape Formula. Again, you'll find it on our courses page. It's this one here. In Pro Mixtape Formula, where we work with an engineer who used to do the millions selling Ministry of Sound CDs. You remember the Ministry of Sound CDs, the annual and the Clubber's Guide and all that kind of thing? Well, Steve, who's on our team, he was actually the person in the studio mixing those. And this teaches how to do it the way the professionals do it. And it uses, guess what, Audacity, because Audacity is probably the best and cheapest way of doing it, but it also uses Ableton. So if you do want to know how to edit your mixes and tidy up your work in Ableton, then this course will help you. But this course will also help you with Audacity. It's called Pro Mixtape Formula. But really, I would push back to you and say, why do you want to use something else there, James? Because Audacity is absolutely brilliant. Right, it's always good when we see solutions. And you don't like my music. Last week, I asked you about latency between my keyboard and Ableton. It turns out it was my Bluetooth headphones causing the issue. I know, we were sat in our living room, because I've got an office at home as well, and this one here. At the moment, because it's winter and I'm soft, I tend to only come here to the office when I've got to do a live broadcast, to do a live show. Otherwise, I sit at home. I've got an equally big computer at home, and I don't have to leave the warm living room. Anyway, I've got a kind of home office, but also my wife, Faye, who's the production manager of Digital DJ Tips, she's got a home office as well. So we've got this big living room with both of our home offices in it. And we were there today, and she's like, why are my headphones playing the Jazzy Jeff course? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, my computer's not playing me anything with Jazzy Jeff on it. I don't know. Turns out an iPad that was charging on the shelf for some reason had connected to her headphones, and for some equally bizarre reason was previewing some of the material of our course. So yeah, Bluetooth can be weird. It's a good idea to make sure it's unpaired from everything you're not using it with, I think. And in your case, it sounds like your headphones were causing a problem. I'm glad you fixed that because it certainly is annoying. Hello, Craig. Always nice to see you popping into these live streams. We'd love to have you here. Hello to Lyndon Loke as well. Hello to everyone else on Twitch, by the way. We don't give enough love to Twitch, but great to see you here. Thank you. Do ask your questions. We're here for about another 20 minutes. This is from Snakehead. Can you please talk about or make a video regarding the Prime 4 utilizing the LC6000? I searched a lot on the web, but no one is really touching on this. Thanks, my guy. That is a very, very good point. Because the Prime 4 is the engine flagship controller from Den and DJ, and the thing with the engine stuff is that it never used to work with the Prime 4, never used to work with the LC6000. Now the LC6000 is a special controller that is designed, and I have got one here somewhere, here we go. This is the LC6000. It's designed to work with Den and DJ's media players. So for instance, this is the SC6000M. This can play 2 tracks at once, unlike the Pioneer CDJ 3000s, which can't. This can play 2 tracks at once. So you get a mixer, one of these either side of it, you've got 4-channel DJing. But the trouble is you've still only got 2 platters, right? So the idea is that you buy a relatively cheap LC6000, you put it next to your other media player, and this unlocks the second deck on the other media player. So, so we don't have to press the layer buttons. I was talking about how this one hasn't got that, and you've got to switch between the decks, right? And that's the idea with these. But they also work now, as of like literally a couple of weeks ago, with the Prime 4, which is a big controller. But the thing is, they've only just started, literally only just started working with the Prime 4. And we haven't even plugged ours into our Prime 4 here yet, so I can't give you advice on how it works. But it's a very good idea. So what I'm going to do now, because this is what we like to do when you give us great ideas, is I'm going to add it to my list of things to consider making a video about on our channels. Which is, and those of you that are familiar with the way we work here at Digital DJ Tips, you'll have seen me doing this loads of times. Do a Prime 4 and LC6000 video. You'll have seen me adding stuff to our systems many times, because it happens all the time on these live broadcasts, because you, our amazing community, come up with great ideas and I go off and add them so that I don't forget them. So thank you very much for that. We'll do our hardest to do that for you. This is from Albert, and Albert says, I'm considering buying the Mixars LTA turntables. but I noticed that the tone arm is straight. My question is, what is best, straight or shaped tone arm? And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't think I know the Mixar's LTA turntable. Shall we look at it together? Mixar's make some great little mixers, so I'm sure they make some great little turntables as well. Ah, that's 5 years ago. It's an old turntable. I remember it now. So these are going to be hang ping turntables. And if you're thinking, what is Phil talking about? Basically, they all come from the same factory. It doesn't matter who you buy a turntable from. It will come from the same factory because there's not many factories making turntables anymore, with a few exceptions, Technics being one of them. So let's have a little look at this turntable then. This is what it looks like. And your question is, it comes with a straight arm. That's this bit here. And is that a good thing or a bad thing? So, some scratch DJs will tell you that a straight arm is better for scratching because it holds in the grooves a little bit better. Other DJs don't care, me included. The truth is that the most popular turntable for scratching on in history is the Technics 1200, and that's got an S-shaped tone arm. So I think it's just down to personal preference. It's so subtle, the difference between an L-shaped and a straight tone arm, that other things are going to make far more of a impression on the way you're scratching. You know, the state of the vinyl, whether the turntable is properly set up and balanced, whether there's vibrations from the bass, they all mean a lot more than whether you've got a straight or an S-shaped tone arm, frankly, and the quality of the components overall. So honestly, if you've got a good deal on them, they're a great turntable. They're the same as all the other turntables from other manufacturers that are made in that factory, more or less. You'll be fine with it. And good luck. I hope you enjoy it. It's always good fun buying turntables. This is from Paul, who says, I have the XDJ XZ or XZ, which is a really big Pioneer standalone controller. When recording via the built-in USB, the levels seem very loud compared to my previous RX2. There's an additional master level on the XZ. Does this override the trim above the EQs? None of my meters are clipping, but the sound seems a little distorted when checking it in Audacity. That's an interesting question, and I can't answer you, Paul, because I'm not sure. However, you are asking the question on Facebook, and let me give everyone a tip. On these broadcasts, the best place to watch is Facebook, and the reason is any questions you ask underneath remain underneath when the broadcast ends, and then I and my team can get to you and help you with your questions afterwards. So if anyone can help Paul, if any XDJ, XZ or XZ owners can help Paul with that, please do help him. He's on Facebook in the comments. What I would say is, I mean, it's an obvious thing to say, Paul, just turn everything down a bit further and see whether that helps you, and just make that your recording volume. I'm not sure. I mean, the master level shouldn't affect your recordings at all, because that's the whole point of recording. You can mess with the master and the recording will stay the same. So I think the master is definitely a red herring there. And there might be something in the utility menu, but I can't remember. It's a long time since I've looked at it. So someone will be able to help you, I'm sure, in the comments underneath. This is from Only a Northern Cyclist. I regularly do long 4-hour mixes at home, and I record high quality audio 96 kilohertz 24-bit via my MP 2015 SP diff. What's the best recording option for huge high quality files around 6 to 7 gigabytes? Use a standalone SSD hard drive. Samsung do a very popular one. I'm trying to remember. Is it called the S something? Can't remember the name of those Samsung hard drives. But they're really cool. They'll do the job for you. They're not called S something. You know, they're tiny little Samsung ones. I think they are called S. I think they're called S8 or C8 or something. But anyway, SSD hard drives will be good. I would push back at you at recording at that high level. I honestly think it doesn't make any difference. If you knocked it down to, you know, 16-bit 44.1, it's going to sound absolutely amazing, and it's going to save you an awful lot of memory. But you clearly know what you want to do, and you're happy to do it at that level. But yeah, it's definitely got to be SSD. I've got a sense you need more than that. Only a Northern Cyclist. If you do, come and ask the question again on Facebook, and our boffins, who are more technical than I am on that kind of stuff, will dive in and help you. This is from hashtag ask, by the way. Sorry, just let me repeat that one. Hashtag ASK if you'd like to ask a question. This one then is from Alexander. Add to your list, review the new battery-driven PA speakers. For example, JBL Eon 1 Compact and Mackie Thump Go. So actually, we have reviewed the HK Audio Move 8 speaker. If you head over to the internet and type into Google HK Audio Move 8, somewhere near the top will be the Digital DJ Tips review of that. There it is. This is a similar speaker to the ones that you are talking about. We've not only got a written review, but we've got a video as well to help you with this. It's a good little speaker. We did like it, but we have got a review coming up of the JBL Eon 1. And the Mackie Thump Go is something that's on my list. I've been trying to get one for a long time, but we haven't managed that yet for our reviewing. So they're actually on our list already. I don't need to add those to our list, but thank you very, very much for asking. This is from We Killed the Radio. The Pioneer DDJ 400 was released way back in 2018. Do you think an upgraded new model is in the pipeline? Have you heard any rumours? So no, I haven't heard any rumours. I agree with you. It could well be replaced soon. But nowadays, 3 years is not massively old for a DJ controller, and the Pioneer DDJ 400 is still a perfectly good controller. So I'd say, you know, there's no reason not to buy or use that controller now. How do you record your microphone when DJing? Good question. The best way of doing it is, well, there's two ways of doing it depending upon your DJ system. If you are DJing with software, normally the ability to record what you're DJing in your DJ software, like hitting the record button. So for instance, I've got Serato open here. I knew there'd be a reason to talk about Serato. I click the record button at the top. You have a record here. So I'm now recording my Serato, and anything I do here is going to be recorded. But this isn't going to record, this record button I've just clicked in the middle here, isn't going to record my microphone. And the reason for that is that most DJ controllers do a pretty cheap little trick on the microphone. They take it in one corner and it goes out the back to your speakers. But it doesn't go anywhere near the USB cable, it doesn't go anywhere up to your computer, it doesn't go anywhere near the computer to record. So the only way to record when you've got your system like that is to have a separate recorder. Now there's a few different ways of doing that. So at the back of your DJ controller, of course, you've got the output that goes to your speakers, which I've got plugged here. If you've got a more expensive DJ controller, you might have a booth output as well. This one hasn't. So if you've got a booth output, you can plug an extra recorder into the booth output. So there's loads of ways of doing that. You can get a lead and plug your phone in and record with your phone, or you can use something like this. This is a little Tascam recorder that is made for the Task. Try and give you a close-up of that. Probably out of focus there. But this little recorder, these cost about $70 or $80. They take a little SD card and then you can plug the audio into here from your booth output. You can also, it's not an ideal way of doing it, but you can also get a little splitter cable which will split this here into two so that you can plug one into your speakers and one into your recorder. It's not the best way of doing it because well, it's just not the best way, but you can potentially do that. So there's another way of recording your DJ sets that way. Some DJ controllers now are starting to let you feed the microphone out of the USB cable back to the computer, and the reason for that is that they know a lot of people are live streaming with their DJ controllers and want to do that. So even the cheaper DJ controllers, just put that away again, are starting to do that. But basically you're looking at a way of recording that's plugging into the speaker outputs because they're often the only output that the microphone comes through. I hope that's helpful to you. We are now approaching the last few minutes of our live show here. I hope you found this useful today. Do hit those likes and shares and all that stuff if you've enjoyed this, but more importantly, become the latest Digital DJ Tips member. I'll tell you why, it's very obvious. We have got loads and loads to share with you to help you become a better DJ and better DJ producer. I say it's obvious because we wrote the book and you get a free copy of the book when you join us. So come and join us, digitaldjtips.com/join. Grab your free copy of our best-selling book, Rock the Dance Floor. Get your gear guide, but also by doing that, you will be on the list to be informed when we add anything new as regards training, which we're doing every week. We have a weekly newsletter full of new training, new videos, free tutorials, free lessons taken from our DJ courses, and you get all that stuff by being a member. So digitaldjtips.com/join is the place to do that. But for the next few minutes, we'll carry on this free lesson, just helping you with anything that you need help with in your DJing. I can't answer everyone on every one of these, of course. We get hundreds and hundreds of questions, but I do try my hardest. So just keep coming back and asking if you don't get your question answered. And if you ask it on Facebook, you will get a reply from someone at some point. So that's the best place to do it. This is from Alexander. When do you think Pioneer is going to answer up the Denon Prime Go? Are they going to? No sign of that yet. This is from Craig. What's the best connection for Android phones or tablets or any non-Apple device to connect to a mixer for playout purposes? You need to buy the adapter that works with your particular phone or device. So for instance, Samsung have got a adapter that plugs into the connector on the Samsung phone and turns it into a stereo headphones output and a mono microphone input. So that is the one to buy for that unit. If you've got a phone from another manufacturer, buy their one. They've all got them because they all have the option for you to add wired headphones to them, even nowadays. So that is the best one. The best one is going to be the one that's branded for your particular device. So this is from Sergio, back to advice about laptops. We're talking about affordable laptops. I bought an amazing Dell laptop for £650, about $800, $900, with Intel 11th Gen, 8GB and Windows 11. This toy is amazing for DJing. It only uses 3% of CPU processing power for the DJ software. So yeah, we've heard a lot of good things about Dell laptops as well. So Dell, Lenovo are good brands. If you've got a little bit more money, this is a wonderful laptop for DJing with XMG. You can Google it. They're hard to get if you're outside of Europe, but if you're in Europe, XMG are the ones to look at because they are by DJs for DJs. They're utterly they're optimized to the nth degree for DJ software. It's only a standard laptop, nothing unusual about the hardware, but it has been spec'd on the inside to be good for DJing, and the Windows is stripped back and optimized for DJing as well. Plus, you get DJs at the end of the support line, which, as we all know, can be the difference between success and failure when you're trying to get going with a laptop, to have someone who actually understands what you're talking about and who will go over and above what is expected to help you get up and running should you have any problems. So I thoroughly recommend them, but they're not cheap. That's XMG. Michael says, I have a DDJ 1000 SRT, but I don't want to lug that to small parties. What's the nearest substitute with similar functions that cost less than $300? I can only say this. This is the Reloop Ready. It's a Serato controller. It's tiny. It's got everything on, more or less, that the 1000 SRT has got. It hasn't got 4 decks, but apart from that, and it hasn't got 3-band EQ, it's only got 2-band EQ. Apart from that, it's got the lot. It's got all the Serato pad functions. It's got full access to Serato's effects. It is basically a little marvel. You can get a nice little deck saver case for it. That there doesn't weigh anything, doesn't take up any room, and you can take it anywhere. You can DJ on a plane, in a hotel room, at small gigs. That's the one. It's not huge, it's not heavy. It's a great complement to a bigger controller. It was designed by DJ Angelo, our very own DJ Angelo, the guy behind our DJ Angelo's Tricks and Transitions course, and he designed it as the perfect second controller for him. And so that's the one I would certainly recommend to you there, Michael. This is from DJ Incompetent. What a great name. In a DJ console plus 4 speakers and 2 subs and 6 DMX light setups, how many of these items should I get as battery powered before I can be confident with running the whole set on one power outlet? The only thing that's taking power is your speakers. Everything else there is not taking power. Your DJ console, your lights, your computer and stuff, they're using tiny amounts of power. The only power that is being used, any kind of stretch, is for your subs and for your highs. So really, as long as the number of amps that is being drawn from the power by your speakers and by your subs adds up to less than the power rating for whatever the socket system is you're using, you'll be fine. Just add it up. You know, a 13 amp a fuse and a 13 amp socket It's probably going to be fine for 4 speakers and 2 subs, but check it. Look at what it says on the specs, and you can figure that one out there easily enough. And I think we're going to take one more question here before I have to go. Do hit those likes and loves if you've enjoyed this, please. This is from PK Media, who says, how to live stream your YouTube with tracks that are copyrighted. Is it possible to play those tracks which raise red flags on YouTube? We have some training, some free training that will help you to figure out how to do this. I'm just finding it for you in the background now. If you go to digitaldjtips.com and you type YouTube into the search box here, the first article you see will be 3 vital steps for DJing on YouTube without copyright hassle. Go and take a look at that. We've figured it all out so you don't have to. There's a video and we cover all the steps for you there as well. So go and take a look at that and we can help you there. Right, people, on Thursday, an hour earlier than now, look at your watch, an hour earlier than now on Thursday, join me where you're watching now because I'll be live with DJ Jazzy Jeff. Jazzy Jeff will be giving away two one-on-one DJ lessons with him to 2 lucky Digital DJ Tips community members. You can still enter that competition. Go to djtips.co/Jeff now and enter that competition if you haven't already. You could win a one-on-one DJ lesson with the magnificent Jazzy Jeff himself. And join me on Thursday when we will be not only announcing those winners and talking DJing, and Jeff will be here to answer all your questions, but we'll be launching our brand new DJ course with DJ Jazzy Jeff. I've given you a sneak preview of it today here on this live. It is called DJ Jazzy Jeff's How to DJ Right. It is the biggest DJ course we've ever made and we've ever launched at Digital DJ Tips. And if you've ever wanted to get into the mind of and understand some of the tricks of the world's best DJ, then now's your chance. So do come on Thursday when exactly this time in 48 hours, all being well, we'll be pressing the button and launching that DJ course with a very special offer for everyone who is a member. So please be a member. And again, to do that, digitaldjtips.com/join. I got to go now. So it's all that's left is for me to say, get good, get out there, make the moments. I do hope to see you on Thursday. Until then, bye-bye.